Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Today we're going to be looking at some of the worst videos I found and that I've been tagged in from the beauty side of TikTok and Instagram. We start with an Instagram reel actually, and one big part of this clean beauty cult movement seems to be demonizing skincare that contains water. And I don't get why. I know there's this idea that it's a filler ingredient when no ingredients are filler ingredients. Ingredients can be expensive no matter what they are, so I don't think people are adding unnecessary things into skincare. There is no such thing as a filler ingredient, but you need water in order to dissolve a fair few amount of ingredients. Like a lot of raw ingredients come in a powder form. And that's something I knew, but I didn't realize how many actually come in a powder form until I worked with Educated Mess in their lab and did some fun, exciting stuff with them, which I don't know when that's coming out actually, but I learned a lot from that experience, right? You need water because a lot of your ingredients are water soluble. The only benefit that I can think of waterless skincare is that it makes your skincare products lighter, making it easier to ship and having less impact on the environment because of it, right? But this woman we're going to look at now seems to think there's more benefits to waterless skincare than just that. By the way, these are headphones. I always get asked about them. Non-sponsored. They're the Bose open ear ones. Very good. Don't use the app. It's terrible. So she says, you felt like you would never have the glass skin until you decided to ditch water as the main ingredient in your skincare and started using this instead. Hydroxytyrosol. Comment skin for the deets. So let's have a look at some of these claims, and we're going to look at her Instagram caption as well. So from the beginning, read your labels, y'all. If the first ingredient in your skincare is water, that means it makes up over 70% of that product. I didn't know how factually correct this was or wasn't, so I asked Alex from Educated Mess, brand founder, cosmetic chemist, and she was with Ramon at the time, cosmetic chemist. So they were able to help me out. They basically said, no, just because it's the first ingredient, it doesn't necessarily mean there's over 70% of water in that product. That figure is kind of just pulled out of nowhere. So she goes on to say, I wondered why my skin still wasn't thriving with other products, and it's because I was basically paying for water. You aren't. Just because the main ingredient is water, it doesn't mean the vast majority of the cost of the product is the water. There are going to be other ingredients that make it more expensive, right? But you are never just paying for water because there is water in your skincare. Water is still an important ingredient to have in a skincare product. Just because for the majority of us it comes free out of a tap doesn't mean it's useless and you shouldn't be paying for it in the formulation. She next says, hear me out though, water is a good thing, but when added to skincare products, it needs fillers, additives, and stabilizers to keep it sterile from reacting with other ingredients. Those synthetic ingredients inevitably have to go on your skin. We know synthetic ingredients aren't bad, blah, 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 clean beauty, they hate anything synthetic. I think she's talking about preservatives. I think that's what she's talking about. But also, as we said, these ingredients need water to be able to do their job, to be able to work with each other, to be able to dissolve into your product. Alex said, imagine a waterless serum, how disgusting that would be. It would be horrible. It would be disgusting. So she was definitely talking about preservatives by saying synthetic ingredients, because she then goes on to say the same preservatives that are linked to skin inflammation issues like texture, pigmentation, redness, dull skin, the concerns I'm trying to fix. So I'm guessing she means parabens, right? Because the whole clean beauty movements hate parabens because of the misinformation surrounding parabens and the link to cancer. They are the most researched preservative. They are objectively one of the safest preservatives you can have in your skincare. When people don't use parabens, they use less well-researched alternatives. I'm going to leave the names of them here because I can't pronounce them, but these are the two that you'll often find in clean beauty. So these two paraben alternatives, I guess you can call them, have been known as some of the most predominant contact allergens found in cosmetic products to this day, causing contact dermatitis, general irritation, redness, blotchiness, dry skin, everything she's trying to avoid. Now, I don't know if these are in the products. We're going to have a look at them now. As far as demonizing parabens go, that shouldn't happen because they are the safer alternative for you. Now, of course, she has something to sell. So she says with OTP skincare products, they replace the 1% ingredient water, which is 70% of the product. Again, not a fact, with the super potent antioxidant olive leaf elixir called hydroxytyrosol, which is basically antioxidant found in olive oil. She says if you're ready to switch up to your skincare routine, achieve that glass skin comment skin. It's too many skins. You don't need to say achieve that glass skin, just say achieve glass skin, and I will send you a 2-minute skin consultation and even tell you how to get a free product. So let's look at this brand, shall we? Let's look at these amazing waterless products. The brand is Olive Tree People, and you guessed it, they are an MLM. And then when we go to their creams, for example, let's look at some of their moisturizers. Oliveda is the brand they're selling, right? So yes, on their website, first of all, they say they use bioactive ingredients instead of just water. Again, peddling this idea that your product is mostly water. Okay, so let's have a look at one of the Oliveda creams. This is the F42 Corrective Face Cream. Let's just have a little peek at their ingredient list, shall we? So yes, right at the beginning, they have their olive leaf cell extract, which they call here we go, hydroxytyrosol. So olive fruit oil is an antioxidant, and the hydroxytyrosol is a skin brightening ingredient. It has artificial fragrance in, which I would argue is more irritating for most people than parabens, water. If your product has water in it, you need a preservative, otherwise it's going to grow mold. From what I can see, this product doesn't have a preservative in. This is like a sunscreen, but they're not calling it sunscreen. It has sunscreen filters in it. A lot of this stuff is just talking nonsense. It's highlighting an interesting ingredient that they're trying to peddle as the next big thing, when really it's just olive oil. J-Lo? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it really, but like that olive oil extract is different to the hydroxytyrosol. They're trying to wrap it all up in a nice fancy clean bow, and it doesn't quite make sense. I mean, this isn't an MLM video, but if you search this brand on YouTube, you see a lot of the anti-MLM people talking about this brand, and some of the videos are crazy, and I highly suggest you go and watch them. When we see people like this trying to talk about the science of skincare, we know something's up. It's always that comment skin and I'll send you something, people that we need to kind of be wary of. To demonize water, like water isn't doing this to your skin. It's just not. It's not doing this. Especially when it's formulated in a product, it's complete bullshit to try and scare you away from using products, because the vast majority of skincare products, especially the affordable ones that are readily available to everyone, are going to contain water. So it's things like this that just kind of piss me off, because they're making a problem out of absolutely nothing. I feel like we're all too educated now to believe this shit anyway. Dr. Daniel Barrett is appearing in a lot of these videos recently. I didn't think he'd be such a regular fixture, but I always check up on his videos to see if anything's going on over there. I missed this one, but I was tagged in this and sent this several times. But before I react to this video, and I'm gonna like stop and start this one so you can hear what he's saying and we can talk about as we go along, I just want to say that he seems to be a good plastic surgeon and he should be respected as such. He is not, however, understanding of skincare and the science behind it by the sounds of this.
Stop using chemical sunscreen, you guys. You see it in CVS, you think you're doing a good thing for your body or your kids' bodies. You are not.
You are. Any sunscreen that you use has been approved and gone through all the standard regulations, because sunscreen is such a heavily regulated product. You are doing a good thing for yourself and your kids. The worst thing you could do for your kids is use fucking beef tallow and sunscreen alternatives because you think it's bad for you.
Honestly think it's better to put nothing on and cover with clothing than to use chemical-based sunscreen. Stay away from...
Every sunscreen is chemical-based. Everything is a chemical. It's extremely fucking irresponsible of him to say you're better off not using it and just covering yourself up in clothing. Not everybody has fucking UPF clothing at home, but everyone can easily get their hands on a affordable chemical sunscreen.
Away from chemical sunscreens. At the very least, they piss off your skin. They're going to give you breakouts. You know who you...
Chemical sunscreens do tend to irritate my skin, but that's a me thing. That's too much of a blanket statement. Chemical sunscreens don't inherently bother people's skin. I know people who can't use mineral sunscreens because it irritates their skin. It just depends on your skin, the formulation, etc. That should be a blanket statement for all skincare. It can irritate your skin depending on you and your skin.
When you put sunscreen on, you get those breakouts. Use physical blocking sunscreen. So that's zinc.
Physical blocking sunscreens aren't a thing. The term sunblock has been banned for a reason, because mineral sunscreens do not form a layer on your skin. They do not form a physical block. There's this idea that chemical sunscreens absorb into the skin, which is true, and mineral sunscreens just sit on the top of your skin, forming a physical barrier. Not true. You cannot say block anymore.
Zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, and then pay attention to the other ingredients in there. You need to kind of do your research and stop using these chemical sunscreens because they actually...
Don't do your own research. This is something I've had to learn, and I know it kind of goes against everything I say, but there is a way to do your own research. Googling something, whenever people try and fight me on something, they say, you can just Google it. You can just fucking Google anything you want and find the answer to what you want. If you Google chemical sunscreens give you cancer, you will find tons of articles, even medical studies, etc., saying it gives you cancer. If you Google the exact opposite, chemical sunscreens don't give you cancer, you will find the exact same things for and against each argument. Whatever you want to Google, whatever you want to find the answer for, you will find the answer for that will back up your opinion. Googling something when you don't understand the process of the science is not a good thing to do. This is like when people say there's studies for it, and all they've done is read the conclusion of a study. Anyone can do that. Anyone could go into PubMD and read a conclusion of the study. But what people like myself, you know, everyone who doesn't have a degree in biochemistry, cosmetic chemistry, won't know is the process of how they got to that conclusion. And within that process, if there's any red flags that they should be looking out for, maybe they did something wrong in the study, maybe they did something irrelevant to the outcome. We do not know what we are looking for. So even when we think we have something that is clean cut, has to be right because it's on PubMed, whatever it's called, PubMD, Pub, it doesn't mean it's accurate or factual. This is why you need to find relevant experts. For example, not a plastic surgeon talking about chemistry, cosmetic chemistry. Find relevant experts in those fields and listen to them.
Because they actually have to bind and react to your skin to become sunscreen agents.
Incorrect. Sunscreen works straight out of the pot. Jar. Sunscreen's never in a pot. Tube was, I think it's Lab. It's always going to be Michelle from Lab Muffin who did an experiment with this that showed that chemical sunscreens are active. They're doing their job straight out of the tube. There's no waiting around for 15-20 minutes for it to work. It doesn't have to bind. I don't know where the fuck he got that from.
Blocking agents is just like, all right, I'm slathering it on and it's there protecting me and it's not being absorbed by your body. You got to pay attention to the
It does get absorbed by your body as well.
other stuff that's in it, but for the most part, you're way better off with that sunscreen than chemical. They should just get rid of it, in my opinion, and for isolated situations. It kills coral reefs, all kinds of other bad stuff.
Kind of incorrect. The whole coral reef thing, I think EcoWell did a really great article, blog post on this. Zinc also kills coral reefs. It's actually worse for coral reefs than chemical sunscreens.
Reefs, all kinds of other bad stuff. Check your makeup to make sure it doesn't have any chemical blocking agents in it. A lot of makeup has zinc, which is totally fine. But in my opinion, don't wear any.
Check your makeup to make sure it doesn't have any chemical blocking agents in. What the fuck is he talking about? What is he You can tell he doesn't even know what he's talking about. It's just listing shit off.
In my opinion, don't wear any makeup. It's probably better if you don't.
And then he finishes on, it's probably better if you don't wear any makeup. What the fuck is he talking about? This is what I mean. We can't just blindly trust these people wearing scrubs with a doctor at the beginning of their name. It's like you wouldn't ask like a pastry. No, that's a bad example. What's a good example? He's a surgeon. Like, what does he know about making skincare? Like, he knows nothing about making skincare. He does not have the relevant education to be discussing this kind of stuff. But because there's doctor in his title, you will get people that will argue this and they'll be like, oh, well, I believe a doctor over an influencer. Fine, go burn yourself. I don't give a shit anymore. Just because you feel they're working within the same industry or because they work with the human body, they're gonna know the same thing as a cosmetic chemist would or somebody whose actual degree is to talk about skin, doesn't mean that's correct, right? It doesn't mean they're gonna have more knowledge in that subject than me. Me and him have the same education in skincare, well, not skin biology maybe, but in how these products work. We have the same massive education, what we read online, according to what he's talking about. Finding relevant experts is so important. I just don't get why he's saying it, and it's so infuriating because people will believe this over someone like me who's trying to spread the message of following the right people and trying to lead people to the right voices of education. I had this the other day with my cellar water. People are like, oh well, I believe an esthetician over you. Great, you should do, but they're also lying to you because they don't know about the chemistry behind the product or the biology of the skin. I just rant about this forever. It's so infuriating. It's like we left this whole misinformation thing back in like 2012 and somehow it's all come back to haunt us again with the rise of TikTok and these experts online. Like, honestly, he needs to shut up. I commented on his video. I was like, you need to stop now. Did you hear about the woman who was crying because she looked so old, but she Did you hear the story about the woman who was crying because she looked so old, but she was only 30? So when she asked her 6-year-old co-worker how she looked so young, she told her that it was because she took these collagen supplements. No, nor did I, because it's not true. And there's this weird trend of TikTok shops selling, I don't even want to call them influencers, they're like selling liars who are making up these bizarre stories in order to sell whatever supplement or product is currently offering the most commission on TikTok shop. Let me show you a few examples.
Ed Lefebvre, the UK's top plastic surgeon, will I was 18 and he was 50, and here's what I learned.
Okay, let's just skip to whatever she's selling.
Because the drips are £1,000 a pop. Yeah, he recommended these to me and they do exactly the same thing. He said if he has a client come in that can't afford to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drips a month, then he'll say to take these daily and then just have one drip. But he said he only really does that for money and you don't even need the drip. Because these do exactly the same thing. I'm 35 now and I've been taking these every single day since he said, and it is the one thing that I would never not take. I'm gonna pop the link down.
They've literally just popped up on TikTok shop, so I don't know how she's been taking them every day.
Do you stop getting Botox and filler? You do not need it. I used to be a nurse practitioner for the UK's #1 plastic surgeon, and here's all the reasons why you do not need to get this.
I bet this is the same tablets, isn't it? Yeah, there we go.
This is NMN, and it promotes your NAD levels first thing in the morning. It will prevent aging, help your energy levels, stop you being fatigued, speed up your metabolism.
Where's the other one?
My dad was a top plastic surgeon in the NHS for 30 years, and here's all the reasons why he told me to never get Botox and filler. When I was 18, I remember...
Is it going to be NMN again? Oh, she forgot to put the picture in.
He told me that you can take this supplement and it does exactly the same thing. So this is NMN,
Yeah.
and this promotes your NAD levels first thing in the morning.
So let's just dissect this really quick. So she's selling these NMM tablets that she's been taking for a long time now, even though like half of TikTok shop are trying to sell them. She used to work, no, she had an affair with the top plastic surgeon who told her this. She used to work for a top plastic surgeon who told her this. And her dad is a top plastic surgeon who told her this. What I'm getting from her mix of stories is that either she had an affair with her dad or she's lying. As I mentioned, these people are almost like the worst and most shameless parts of what people think influencers do, which is selling shit that they haven't even tried or just speaking absolute bullshit. Their only content is content trying to sell you something. This is like what TikTok shop is, but on crack. They try and sell you something without physically showing that they've been using it or the results of using it. They just say they've been using it and point out a few things. From what I've personally experienced, TikTok shop commission is not that good. It's pretty low. So these influencers are having to really push and push these products to make a tiny bit of commission to bullshit their way to making money. I completely respect the fact that this is a good way to make money. And for a lot of people do this on TikTok. Honestly, they review the products or they're unboxing the products and showing you how they work, or they've been trying the beauty products for a while. Great. Do whatever you need to do, make your money, do good, honest reviews and make commission from products that you think are good. But to lie and make these like Daily Mail style headlines is so cringe. It's so cringe. It's also not a good long-term business choice. Okay, I want to show you this one because this one made me laugh like literally out loud, but I have something not unrelated to say about it, but something to say about it. I mean, that is everyone, including me. Like, that is every skinfluencer, including me. And I completely get what she's saying. Like, so there's two things here. The fact that I think these glass skin routines, I think is what this influencer is talking about. Everyone just ends up looking like a bit like a shiny mess, but she also looks so tired and withdrawn for some reason. And I made a video on this, but here's what I think like these modern day skinfluencers get wrong about glass skin. Glass skin isn't just looking shiny as fuck under a ring light or whatever beauty lighting you have on to film your TikToks. It's a number of factors that come together to make glass skin. Hydration, of course, being one of the most important, but also even skin tone. Even skin texture, well moisturized skin, well exfoliated skin. And that often comes with ingredients like fermented ingredients, centella, calming and soothing products, certain products like gentle exfoliants, traditional essences, not what a lot of people are using, which is like stronger actives, you know, whatever Paula's Choice have on offer. Paula's Choice are great, but you know, they do like good, strong actives, but that's not like the ethos of glass skin, I guess you can say. And it's not just using a toner and then a really thick moisturizer and then like going under a beauty light and squishing your cheek. So you get this like plump skin kind of like, what's the word, like effect. But this can also just be about slugging. I think slugging is great and I'll do it forever. But yeah, a lot of us do just go to bed looking like a greasy mess, like we've just woken up in a cold sweat. But I just found that so funny. The uglier you go to bed, the prettier you'll wake up or something like that. I don't believe in that. Let's finish on this really fucking annoying video.
So we're at the beach, but I forgot my sunscreen, so let's make some. Okay, first we need shea butter.
Okay, so you forgot your sunscreen, but you have a bowl and loads of ingredients with you to make sunscreen. Sounds irresponsible to me, like you're not planning and packing. You're not organizing your time.
You can use it as a little chapstick too. Next we add some cocoa butter. You want some? Next we need beeswax. And now the part that makes it sunscreen, zinc oxide.
So we all know by now you can't make your own sunscreen. Adding zinc oxide to a product doesn't make it sunscreen. You can't just mix it on a bowl on a beach and expect it to be evenly spread enough to have its like SPF rating, you know? Sunscreens are very heavily controlled. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. There's some very heavy regulations around sunscreen testing, and what it takes to get that SPF factor. They're regulated and they're hard to make. This is why every brand doesn't just launch with a sunscreen, because they are so difficult to make. When you look at these indie brands, they aren't launching with sunscreens because they're expensive. They take a lot of time. The testing is expensive. You can't just whip it up like this. Otherwise, every brand would be launching with a sunscreen, especially in today's climate. But yeah, you know the drill. You can't make your own fucking sunscreen.
Ow, it's definitely on. Now we melt it.
I know you really want to eat it.
It's coming together nicely. It already kind of looks like sunscreen. No way. All right, we're all done.
No way what? No way what? Like you put a load of zinc and shea butter in a bowl and rubbed it on yourself. That's exactly how it's gonna look.
All right, we're all done. Now we fill them up. Oh God. Okay, I also want a pink sunscreen, so I'm gonna add some dragon fruit powder. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Perfect. Just pop the bottom on. Okay, now let's cool them down in the ocean. Hopefully it doesn't leak into the sunscreen. All right, I think they're ready. No way. Wait, that's so cool. All right, let's try it. Pink zinc, baby. Number 2. Oh yeah. Look at that. Ooh, a little bit of white cast there. Oh yeah, baby. I think that's enough. Surf's up.
She's actually quite likable, and I actually like the way she like put them together and like solidified them, and the way she packaged them. Make a moisturizer, fine. It'll just be like an inclusive thing that sits on your skin. Absolutely fine if you want to do that. As when it comes to actives, you know, that's a whole different story. But if you're just using like shea butter, fine. Whatever, fine. This isn't sunscreen. We all know that. I just wanted to show you this because I found the whole premise of the video a little bit weird, but interesting. It kept me watching and got the views. But we know just because it looks like sunscreen and acts like sunscreen on the skin, it doesn't make it a sunscreen. This isn't how sunscreen is made. I wish people would stop pissing about with this. It's just so irritating. It's actually infuriating. Like, this isn't something you fuck about with. It's skin cancer. You want to protect yourself against skin cancer. You're not going to be doing that by whipping up your own sunscreen on a beach. It sounds really awful, but I'm at a point where it's like, what needs to be highlighted is less of these stories about how sunscreens cause cancer and the cancer that's actually caused by the sun, because I feel like that's not what people hear about the most. All we hear about most is the sensationalized headlines of cancer found in sunscreen, benzene in your sunscreen recalled, when there are like thousands of people getting skin cancer a year. Actually, how many people get skin cancer a year? About 9 in 10 cancer cases in the UK are caused by exposure to too much UV radiation from sunbeds. Around 17,000 of these cases are preventable. In the UK, the number of melanoma skin cancer cases is projected to reach a record high of 20,800 in 2024. This is an increase from the yearly average of 19,300 between 2020 and 2022. In the US, because it's not sunny here, around 1 million new cases of skin cancer are diagnosed each year in the United States, about 70% of which result from repeated exposure of skin to sunlight. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. And I honestly think these kind of videos should be taken down because this is harmful information, disinformation. It's not even entertainment. It's troubling. I'm out of breath. I'm gonna go. You can watch some more Worse of Beauty TikTok here. Some general light entertainment here. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.